Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy, Green Patches Farm. This is the day I've been looking for. We're back to one mob. We hauled in altogether about 60 more males, and we ended up clamping 14 of them. So there's 47 bulls in here now. Hey, big boy. And we turned them in. Well, they had some fun. A few cows in heat, and they were really on them. But it's nice just to have one herd again. We're giving them a lot bigger paddocks now because we've basically, increased our herd by 25%, instead of just having the cow calf and the heifers and the yearling steers. We've got everything in here now. So when we were rotating the bulls, we had 60, 64, 65 head. They were taking down some forage, and that was hurting us for our recovery because we had two herds grazing at the same time on basically, you might say, one set of farms. Well, now we've got tons, all that grass and all that paddocks that the other the bulls were eating. Now that gets the rest, and it'll look like this. We've had over 14 inches of rain in 7 days, and I mean, we got another inch last night. It just seems like every night it just rains another inch, and we had 9 inches in right at 24 hours. That's a lot of rain, but you know what? We held it. Of course, we had some runoff, but man, there's a row crop guy down here below us that actually plowed a field, plowed a bottom and disc it. And I mean, it just absolutely scoured that whole field, ruined part of it. The creek actually came out into the bottom and cut probably another 20-foot gouge out into that bottom. And ours is still right here. All that rain, we caught it. It's here on the land, it's in our ponds. And of course there was some runoff, 9 inches, that's a lot of rain. But the calves are bawling. They can't see their mamas. This is some tall grass. I mean, it's 3 foot tall in here. This is a farm that we bought, Jan and I. And I had a lease on this, and it was 5 years. And about the 3rd year, she called me up and said she had to sell it. And so we were in a position at that time, we were able to buy it. And we've never looked back. This was all broom sedge. This is a broom sedge farm. She'd hate it. The previous owner hated it, put hay down, and never, of course, never anything was put back. And what a day. Whew. Just does your heart good to walk out here and look at this. Fat cattle. And finally we're getting sun. We didn't have sun for about 7 days. Feels good to have some sun. And the forage is going to have more energy in it now. And you don't have any sun, that grass just doesn't have the energy in the leaves. And it can't capture any energy because there's no sunlight. So our animal performance should pick up now. Getting some sun out here, bigger paddocks, moving them. They got to be a little wider area, especially as wet as it is. Otherwise, they'll just tear it up. Ben's taking the mineral down. He's trying to go around the cattle. Those young men have learned well. He didn't go straight across there. He's following that fence line. I mean, you got forage like this, you want to keep your four-wheeler off it if you can, especially when you're pulling a big old 1,200-pound mineral feeder. He's taking it down there to those trees. They've worked those trees over pretty good, and there's not a whole lot of grass underneath there, so when you put your mineral feeder underneath there in this really wet time, you're not tearing up your farm. If you put that mineral feeder right here, oh my goodness, it'll be really ugly by morning. It'll just be stomped all to pieces. So we've got pretty close to 400 head in here. We sold those pairs last week. There's 14 cow-calf pairs and some open cows, and some steers. Sold some steers, and the bulls. This is a 2019 bull right here. This is one of our. This will be the new group of the Macho bulls. He's not for sale. Let me get his number. It's 9 something. 920. Yeah, boy, he's a beaut. All muddy. He was over there in that. They'd made a waller over there. The bulls that were showing how bully they are. All of them got mud on them. But yeah, we got it spread out pretty good. They're on about. There's 5 acres here, and it's not been grazed for about 45 days. So. Yeah, we noticed the cattle, their mineral consumption has picked up a little bit during that rainy time. I don't think they were getting near as much mineral out of their forages, and so they started taking down more mineral in the boxes. And we do have the 16-hole mineral feeder. There's a beautiful bumblebee. Look at that guy. He's going after that nectar, the pollen. Not the nectar, the pollen. Yeah. Just a beautiful evening to be out with the animals on a beautiful afternoon. Cows from here on get to do all the work. We just moved them, and now it's up to them to do the rest of it. That's what's so beautiful about a grass-based operation is, you know, once you get it set up, and they do the rest of the work.
About that pasture, huh?
Man, I was just out there drooling. I wanted to get down on all fours like the cows are doing.
Take a bite of it.
Take a bite of it.
Test it out.
There's a lot of Korean Lespedeza coming up.
Oh, is there? I didn't.
In there, yes, it's busting up out there, and it's going to be a good Korean Lespedeza year because we got all that rain. What do y'all think about this wet weather? Has there been some challenges?
Yeah, it's been muddy, super muddy.
It's a little bit hard to keep them out of the mud, isn't it?
Yeah, you just got to give them bigger areas.
Yeah.
Plus, now that we just turned in the bulls, it's even more important because they'll do more damage quicker.
Yes. Yes. I was just looking at 920 over there, and he's got mud all down his sides. He was over there in one of those wallers, had his foot.
Yep.
Being bully, you know how they paw. I guess
He thinks he's in heaven today.
he's a little more sexy when he throws all that mud all over.
I guess.
Yeah, so we steered some of the bulls today. So that was our, you might say, our final cut. But we still ended up with 47 breeding bulls in here. And a lot of those are young bulls that'll be marketed next year. But there's some really nice ones in here that'll be going out the 3rd week of July. There's some of those already spoke for. So anyway, we're pretty happy the way they're looking. And we got a good crop for next year, it looks like. And we've got some good calves this year.
Yeah.
So those little guys.
We were just commenting on that calf, you know, of the heifer that you bought of 763s.
Oh yes,
Progeny.
yes.
It looks just like him. That
Yeah.
Squash nose and
Yep.
big old
Thick neck.
Thick neck.
neck.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like kind of a short, stubby neck on it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. His daddy imprinted him pretty well.
Yeah. You tell.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I hear something popping over here. We got some voltage, don't we?
It's kind of scary now.
We came here the other day. Y'all want to talk about what we did? We didn't have any, did we?
We had very little.
Very
Was
little.
it?
Yeah.
So we just took chainsaw and brush blades and went around and cut everything off the fence.
And we put a bigger charger on it.
The
Yeah.
fence is also in a little bit of a disrepair down in that
Yeah.
corner. That probably wasn't helping things.
Yeah. We had the wire actually laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the wire laying on the ground was some of the first wire that Jan and I put up. It's a number 9 gauge aluminum. I mean, it is mean to handle, but it's super, super conductivity. Aluminum is probably the best for conducting electricity, and plus it's a 9 gauge instead of a 12 gauge. So it had plenty of ample opportunity to ground our fence out, and it did. So I just like hearing it pop.
Yeah, when we got here the other day, well, because usually it was running, what, like 3?
3.
It was about as big, as much as we'd see.
Yeah.
We got here and I'm like, oh wait, we better be careful. It's a little bit hotter this
Yeah.
farm is now.
Yeah, and you measured 9 kV this morning
On the poly wire.
on the poly wire,
Yeah.
poly braid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, it's a hot fence.
That'd make you reach up and slap yourself when you hit that in the morning. All right. Well, folks, I'm going to go ahead and sign out of here. Everyone just viewing in new to the channel, hit that subscribe button on the way out. And we'll see you all down the road.